Hey guys, what's up? This is Alex Courtney from Creepypasta Development. Today we're going to be going over how to import that the chair that we made for the different three parts into UDK. That way you guys that have UDK, like I said, I'm going to be doing several tutorials on how to set up an environment in UDK that you can texture and, go and play around in. And, eventually later on the line make a game out of if you guys ever feel like doing that. But right now I need to go and get my folder here. Okay, so first off, what we're going to want to do is we're going to take our textures, or no, we're not going to take anything. We got our chair here, so what we're going to want to do, it's simple as this. You go to File, you go Export, Autodesk FBX, and then you don't mess with anything down here. You just take and go to where it says Scale, and you apply it to, I always size my stuff up, I think around 20, because I found that it works for most objects. Sometimes you might need to make it bigger. And then all you do is what we're going to do is go Export FBX right here. Ignore the error up there, because all you can apply the scale on there. I'll explain that one later, but right now I'm not going to really worry about it. And then for you guys that have UDK that are watching this, and go ahead and open UDK. While this opens, I want to explain, for the next tutorial, I'm going to go more on probably modeling a full setup for UDK, and a render actually. It's going to be on making like a actual formal dining hall. So we're going to go over the process of making like the tables and chairs and all that stuff. But right now, while UDK opens here, and it's going to pretty much cover modeling and all that stuff. And then some later tutorials that are going to be more advanced are going to go into modeling characters, going over character topology, animation, eventually going into cycles, character head sculpting, and so forth. Just want to let you guys know a heads up on what's going to be happening on that. What that was about. Oh, it was from UDK. Okay, this is not a tutorial on how to use UDK right now. I probably can cover that later on, but this just assuming you guys know how to. For now, assuming you guys know how to somewhat use it, at least to get what we need to get to. So this is not going to be on how to like run around. Well, actually I can show you how to do that, but I'm not going to show you how to light the scene. All we're going to do is we're just going to use this default scene up here. And for you guys that don't know how to use UDK, all I'm doing is just moving around with the WSA and D keys and holding down the right left mouse button. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to go File, Open. We're going to go down to where you exported the file to. Which I'm not seeing mine. Huh. Oh wait, no, sorry, I'm doing the wrong thing. We go over here in Content Browser. Sorry, if yours is gone, you just click Open Content Browser up here in the top panel. What we're going to do is you're going to go Import, and then go to your thing here. Not thinking today. And then you should see your file right here, chair tutorial FBX. And then you just name it, whatever you want to name it. I'm just going to name test file. And then down under name, you can't have any spaces because I won't allow it. And then click OK to all. Yeah, there we go. Click OK. Then it'll import. Oops, sorry about that. You just heard that. Okay, so now you see everything's already textured and imported, and it's unwrapped, so it looks really nice. One thing you do notice though is that it's separated, which that was my kind of fault, I guess. Like, what you could have done is joined them together, and then unwrapped everything and then textured it. But if you were adding like separate collision to everything, you can't join them together, so like you have to separate certain objects like this. And I'll explain that later, and it's kind of a tutorial on its own. But for now, we're just going to use the regular collision in this, so I can show you how to run into things if you were to do it. So what you want to do is you just double click this, go up to collision, and then I use 260D or 2060 simplify collision. And then to see the collision, it's up on show collision over here. Now you see it's covered the whole leg. And all you do, just you drag it in. And again, that's what I was talking about. Since it's 20, it's scaled up to 20, but you can just scale it up more. Again, it just depends. You gotta mess with it. You probably should just scale up to 30 next time. That way it's a little bit bigger, and you can just scale it down from there. So just drag it in there, click on it, and then we can just drag them all around. It doesn't really matter for the legs. Actually, let's just duplicate this. Let's just hit, I think it's Shift D still. Yep, just hit Shift D just like in Blender. Move it across. And then scale this up. And if you guys notice too, this was what I was talking about, how UDK does a completely different thing with lighting than it did in Blender, so it looks a lot better. But I'm not sure the texture got onto this one. Yeah, the texture didn't get onto this one. That's probably because I didn't texture that one right. Wait, no. Yeah, that one didn't go on there right. That's okay. Well, I can show you the next tutorial. Just don't worry about that. I can actually show you how to texture everything correctly and stuff for when I do this. But for now, this was just on how to import things and just set it up in UDK pretty much. Because normally I wouldn't apply the textures in UDK, or I would normally apply the textures in UDK and not in Blender for that exact reason, just because like it's kind of just a pain. So again, just take the rotation tool, just rotate this around, scale it on up. My whole point is just kind of to show you exactly the difference of what this looks like in Blender, or from Blender into UDK, such as lighting and things. But now you see what I meant, like how it just gives it a lot better look to everything. It's not as dark. It pretty much just looks 20 times better than it does in Blender. In the mode I did, and rendered period, because it's not made, like I said, I wasn't really made to set up the way I did. So anyway, you guys get the point of how to do that. The whole main part of this was to show you how to import into UDK, and then do a simple setup like that. Probably the next couple tutorials, I'm gonna probably go over texturing, and then taking and moving your character around in this, and then setting up collision for it. But to kind of break away from this just a little bit from the chair, I'm gonna go ahead and do modeling the dining table for this, and then I can show you how to set collision and all that stuff up for it too. And then we'll I guess move on from there. Try to get as much done as I can for you guys. Just to let you guys know, I'm gonna be gone probably the 18th of June. I don't know how long I'm gonna be gone for, so just be prepared for that. So I'm gonna try to get as much stuff done as possible. I'm gonna be moving for a little bit and then coming on back. But anyway, guys, I'm Alex Warning, coming from Creepypasta Development, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.